Hello.
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 All
So
right.
today kind of is a spin-off of last week a little bit. We talked about the houses that are sitting on the market. So how do you know if something's overpriced? So we don't see, a lot of buyers now are like, I have to offer full price.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess the simple answer is you have to lean on your agent. And this is why
Yeah.
it's so important to have an agent because I can tell my clients by looking at something in the MLS at face value that this is going to have multiple offers. This will probably sell over asking price. And this
Yeah.
is roughly where I think it'll trade at.
Yeah.
Or I think this is really overpriced. Like,
Yeah.
let's give it a week. So, usually with my buyers, I'll give it a week. So, let's give it this first weekend because no seller's reducing or taking a hit on that first week
Yeah.
and see what happens. And if it's still
Mhm.
available and I am right and it is overpriced, let's go see it next week
Right.
when maybe the seller's a little more receptible to
A lower
a
offer.
lower offer.
So if you're waiting a week, would you then tell the listing agent, let us know if there's any offers or how
Yeah,
does
sometimes I'll say, but it depends, I think, on my buyer. Like I have some that are 400 is that's it. They can
okay.
go over, they're not comfortable. They've met with their lender, talked about the different scenarios and they're not comfortable. So anything at
Mm,
399, I'm like, I'll
Yeah.
see if it's still available. But there's
yeah.
no point in us going out to see it. If it's going to
Rush.
sell this weekend, it's going to sell.
Yeah.
Good
And
point.
stuff
I
way over.
Yeah.
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 And
So
then
you'll know.
just yeah, you'll know. I mean, if that house has been on the market more than one weekend, it's
Yeah.
probably a little overpriced. I
Yep.
tell my
Interesting.
sellers too, like if we list and we are getting like a little bit of showings, but we don't get any offers, we're just a little overpriced. It was
Okay.
enough for some people to come out and see it, but nobody loves it enough to pull the trigger and make the offer. And if
Mm-hmm.
we don't really see any showings or like
Yeah.
only one or two and
Right.
definitely no offers, we miss the mark. We way overpriced. So in
Hmm.
this market, if you're a seller, and we tell our sellers this all the time, you can't underprice something.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you
No.
just really can't. I just had one and we listed for 475. We sold for 501. The
Wow.
one down the street in the same neighborhood, they even underpriced on purpose. And they underpriced, I think theirs was also worth like 475, 85, 95. They listed that at 439 and they just closed at 532. So
Wow.
So, you
Wow.
can't really underprice things, but you can
Mhm.
definitely overprice. So if you're a seller, be cautious, lean in on your agent, ask them, I always give options of pricing, 3 different options. And, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you definitely can't go wrong putting a little blood in the water and, being aggressive with it.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. And you can always tell too when you go into a house too, like if it's been on the market, you can sometimes tell why, or maybe they had a big price drop recently, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure
Yeah.
those
Or
agents already had those conversations with the seller in the beginning, and it's just a tough lesson to learn then when you sit on the market and miss, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, you missed the mark on everything.
Mhm.
Well, and, again, as a buyer, if you're thinking something's overpriced, like why is this sitting? Ask your agent because
Mm-hmm.
it could be price, but it also could be condition. It could
Yeah.
go go see it, take a look. Maybe it doesn't
Yeah.
show well. I will say we see a lot of listings that maybe are tenant occupied that have
Oh,
longer market times. And 9 out of 10 times it's the lack of showing availability. So
Yeah.
they're just
oh,
not getting people in there. The tenants just aren't allowing enough showings to really produce offers.
Yep.
So
Or you have an agent too who's not responsive to, you know,
yeah. So it,
to
it doesn't
I have a lot of
always mean
I've
price,
experienced that a
but
lot lately. I just
hmm.
actually texted an agent
Mhm.
today. This has been a
I,
couple hours ago about a tenant. There's a tenant living there, and I just, was, hey, is there any way we could do these times or these times this week? They're all blocked out on showing time, but can we make it work? and to still have no response, just a, hey, I'll check or something,
Yeah.
it could be a lot of things. So
Yeah,
question
a
your agent too,
combination.
question what's going on. Like, hey, can we see, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, that's another video for another day. Just
Yeah.
an agent doing their
So
job.
it's important to have an agent because you could be looking at something on Zillow and be like, ew, that's overpriced. I'm not even going to go down that road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, maybe that is the case. Maybe it isn't. Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe the agent can write an offer that's going to get you a great deal and get them to come down. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that about sums it up.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a nice, quick, short one. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can add that other video for August, Lynn's.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the agent doing their job. That's a
Yeah.
good one,
Yeah.
actually.
It
There should
is.
be a checklist. There should be things that when you're interviewing for an agent, that you should be, you know, looking into. Their reviews could be stellar too, but it's all about, to me, it's communication, Steve.
Yeah.
There's
I
a
like
lack
it.
Correct.
thereof communication sometimes with agent to agent, and I think sometimes that's
Mm.
really important too.
Or even leaving feedback when you do show a property. I hear that a lot of agents are just not leaving feedback anymore, and it's making
Yeah,
your job tough for
right.
the listing agent.
Yeah, and that's another
Yeah.
thing too, because of that lawsuit that some agents just don't want to anymore.
Ugh.
There was another potential lawsuit, but we can talk about that another day.
Yeah.
Another August. All right.
To be
Okay.
continued.
Well, have a good night.
All right,
Bye.
everyone.
Good
Bye
night. Good
bye.
day. Bye.
Bye.